Hello everyone, good evening and welcome back to Send It's Weather channel. Today we're looking at the latest from the latest models for the next couple of weeks, which will extend out to the third week of February. We'll look out to about day 10. Anything past about day 5 is still uncertain. We'll look out to day 10 as we do normally. Now, do you enjoy today's video? Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Let's see if we can hit an insane amount of likes in this video. I really do appreciate your support. Thank you for 1,500 subscribers, by the way. I really do appreciate it. Let's get on with this video. Nice and chilled today. Let's get on. So, what are we expecting? We know for certain that high pressure is going to move to our north and west. Currently bringing in the wind from a chilly, but not cold easterly. You know, it's quite chilly. It's about temperatures about 2, 3, 4 degrees day, and then some overnight frosts at night. Well, nothing too major at the moment. However, high pressure sits to our north and west, keeps under quite a mild ridge. Basically, if you have high pressure usually in the vicinity, it leads to dry conditions. If it's from the west or southwest, it's mild. If you sat over the top of it, you can see inversions with like cold, frost and fog. Now at this point here on Saturday, it looks quite a cold easterly. You might think, oh, but the temperatures aloft are mild, but at the surface it does feel quite chilly. Temperature's not getting much above 2 or 3 degrees, even by Saturday. As you can see though, this high pressure does not fully build towards Greenland due to a low pressure sitting in the Atlantic, which topples the high, and therefore, with the GFS anyway, we try and rebuild heights, but we go mild and southwesterly, meaning in most unsettled conditions return to the northwest. Very mild air masses moving in, 5 degree ice firm moving in. Probably could bring temperatures into the teens there, bringing the winds from a continued southerly, and it would feel like a start to spring. The GFS. That's the GFS model. Move on to the GM next. Again, very similar. High pressure builds to our north and west. Does topple eventually, but it does stay quite cold. A renewed build of heights towards Greenland. Doesn't quite come off. Doesn't successfully build towards Greenland, but has a really good go at it. For the heights sit over the top of the country, keeping it quite dry, cold and frosty. Again, air masses aloft might be quite mild, but at the surface, expect some frost and fog around. With winds in from the southeast, it'll feel quite chilly, with the wind coming from off the continent. Then we'll have a look at the icon, see if that's added any trends. Again, high pressure moves to our north and west, then it topples away, then the Atlantic returns in the longer term, with winds with the 5 degree ice firm moving in, but temperatures at the surface won't be anything too spectacular. They are, above average slightly, but 9, 10, 11 is not too bad, in the southwest. Now, then we're on to the interesting models. The JMA, which I never show, has been going for this similar trend for a long time. It maintains the high pressure. With that low pressure out further west, it maintains the high pressure to our north and west. It's been doing this persistently. You can't deny its consistency to bring in this pattern. As you can see, it sustains the block towards Greenland, that Greenland high, and is just enough to keep that low pressure out in the Atlantic. And we actually bring in some colder air from the southeast. Now, it's not particularly cold, but it's a start. You would expect that to come more easterly as well, because there's a decent block to our northwest, and winds in from a southeasterly with the -5 line in. Again, on the bottom end of the scale, but could not be ruled out whatsoever. If we have a look at the models for the GFS for Barnsley, which is central location, hashtag Barnsley. And as you can see, temperatures at the moment are around average at the upper temperatures, below average at the moment, but rising to above average. Does feel quite chilly though, with some frost and fog around. Then into longer term remains mostly average. There's the GFS operational going up to balmy weather, but only 10, 11, 12 degrees mostly. But yeah, it looks around average with the GFS. There are still a few colder runs in the mix, down to the -10 line. However, the things short-term changes cannot be ruled out, and this is where the ECM comes into play. And I mean, look at this, right? So we'll run through this one. We're on a different website now, so I might have to readjust. There we go. This is the ECM 12Z, and this is really throwing a spanner into the works. Probably very unlikely to verify, but look at this. So the high pressure does move to our north and west and breaks apart. However, this low pressure by the 18th of Feb, so a week away, next Tuesday, is a little bit further southwards, and it actually takes, with the jet stream's running southwards into Spain, and it takes a northwest-southeast alignment, and actually sinks to the south of the UK, and brings in a bitterly cold easterly wind. There's a slight block to our north, and brings in a bitterly cold easterly wind, and as you see here, look at that. all the cold air comes flooding into the country at the -5 line. Then if we have a look again at the heights, they maintain. A weak block does build to our north, towards between Iceland and Scandinavia, and we block off the Atlantic with this high, and it brings in more, even colder air from the east. Brings the -10 line through the country, even the -15 line into the far southeast. I mean, that is ridiculous. If we have a look at the British Isles, you can see at this point in the run, I mean, look at that. -14 into Birmingham, bitterly cold, snow showers everywhere, temperatures not getting above freezing. That would be a proper beast. And that is not actually would be the beast. Now, how likely is this to happen? Well, the title might be a little bit, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. And eventually, high pressure does build over the top into the north of the country, but it will still be quite cold for a time before it builds in winds in from the southwest. So never say never. When you look at this, you're going to say, oh, but it's going above average. I mean, temperatures at the surface are still going to be quite cold. But any of these cold outliers cannot be ruled out yet. Emphasis on yet. Give it a couple of days and they'll either disappear because there'll be no chance, or they could increase. I mean, it's very unlikely to happen like the ECM's playing out, but never say never. We expect to be at the bottom of the chart, but how do we not know other runs are doing this? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, what's my thoughts on that? Well, I think the ECM is still an outlier. I don't deny there's a chance. The JMA has been very persistent. However, it's very unreliable and is not great for forecasting colder weather. But never say never. Maybe this is its time to shine. Maybe it's the time of the underdog model. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching this short video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.